Real black neighborhoods, so real black families could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names.
Things are getting strange behind bars, and rumors are starting to spread. A nurse who supposedly treated Diddy in prison reportedly saw his medical records and was shocked by what she found. According to whispers, his file contained serious STD information that he never wanted anyone to know. It's not just a small issue. People say he's dealing with long-term infections. Now, inmates are worried, especially since Diddy is still acting the same and not exactly keeping to himself. People had already noticed his recent weight loss and guessed it might be health-related. With his history, many are wondering how far this could have spread.
In terms of his release, they said Combs would submit to drug testing. Prosecutors argued strongly against Combs' release. Prosecutors pointed to testimony from the trial in arguing why Combs should remain in custody. They said that his team did not contest that he was physically violent and a rampant drug user. In a letter submitted to the judge, the government said, quote, "A detention is mandatory following a conviction of this offense. The government has been unable to locate a case in which a defendant was released from custody following such a conviction."
Let's rewind a bit, because all the drama surrounding Diddy didn't start behind prison bars. One of the early signs that something strange was going on traces back to Craig Mack. If you're familiar with old-school hip-hop, you know Craig. Mack helped kick off Bad Boy Records. He had a hit, brought attention to the label, and was expected to be one of its stars. But then, out of nowhere, he disappeared. Years later, it came out that Craig had moved to South Carolina and joined a religious group that many labeled as a cult. He left the music world completely, cut off old connections, and stopped performing. People were stunned when he passed away in 2018 due to complications from AIDS. His death raised eyebrows because close friends said he went through serious emotional pain before vanishing from the spotlight. Some now wonder if Craig witnessed something dark that made him turn his back on everything, and maybe even flee for his own safety.
So you're telling me I'm HIV negative?
Absolutely HIV negative.
But doctors warn his body is hanging by a thread.
You're in danger.
According to recent
doctors are now sounding the alarm, warning that Diddy's health is seriously declining. Reports coming from inside the prison claim a nurse got access to his medical file, and what she allegedly found shocked everyone. The file wasn't just a few pages about basic checkups. It was full of serious concerns. According to her, Diddy is living with multiple sexually transmitted diseases, including herpes and possibly HIV. Once word of this started circulating through the prison, the atmosphere reportedly changed. Inmates became worried, especially since Diddy hasn't been keeping to himself. Even behind bars, insiders say he still has a crowd around him, some even calling them groupies. And then there's the weight loss. At his most recent court appearance, Diddy looked noticeably thinner. People are saying this isn't just stress or bad prison food, it could be a sign of a much deeper health issue that started long before jail. On the outside, Diddy was known for his extreme private parties. These weren't your typical Hollywood gatherings. People who were there described chaotic scenes with multiple partners, zero rules, and no protection in sight. When the feds raided his properties, they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but no condoms, no medical kits, nothing safe. Now those events are being called health hazards, even disease hubs. More troubling, several women have recently come forward saying they now live with herpes and that they were involved with people from Diddy's inner circle. They aren't all directly naming him, but the overlap in names, timing, and situations is becoming hard to ignore. It's not just gossip anymore. It's starting to look like a larger pattern. These women saw the headlines, heard about the nurse's leak, and realized they weren't alone. What they thought were isolated incidents might actually be part of a disturbing system. And just when it couldn't get more intense, Jaguar Wright stepped in with even more shocking claims.
You know, the next thing is, man, Craig Mack was the one that jumped Bad Boy off. And and it got so bad that Craig Mack, who died from AIDS, that man, he got brainwashed so bad from Diddy and got done so wrong. The man went to South Carolina and joined a cult with his family until he died of AIDS a few years ago.
Jaguar Wright took the story to the next level. In an emotional interview with Real Life Productions, she claimed that Diddy has been living with HIV for quite some time, and he's not alone. Jaguar said there's a list of about 20 other industry guys who are also infected. But here's the twist, she's not sharing their names yet. She plans to reveal them on her own show. Still, fans are already speculating. Usher's name keeps coming up. Think back to when Usher was just 13 and living with Diddy in New York. He later told Howard Stern it was a curious environment and warned, "I wouldn't let my kids go to Puffy Flavor camp." Some remember that and also recall when Usher faced lawsuits for allegedly spreading herpes. The timing seems suspicious. Could something have happened back then? Then there's Jonathan Audi, someone most people don't know. He was an adult film actor who, in 2018, broke down at a resort in Puerto Rico and said during his meltdown that he'd been forced into encounters with both Diddy and Cassie. At the time, he seemed unstable. But now, federal court documents include his photo as one of the escorts Diddy allegedly hired. That changes things. And here's where it gets even heavier, Kim Porter. She was Diddy's long-term partner and the mother of his children. When she died in 2018, it surprised everyone. Now insiders claim her autopsy showed she was HIV positive, just when people believed she might have known Diddy's deepest secret. It makes you wonder, are these tragedies connected? Is there a troubling pattern? This all sounds like a wild conspiracy, but the more clues that surface, the more people are seeing connections. Jaguar's claims, Usher's history, Audi's court documents, and the whispers about Kim Porter, it's all adding up in a way that's hard to ignore.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
It's getting harder to ignore the pattern. People connected to Diddy either end up quiet, emotionally drained, or completely off the radar. Now folks are wondering, how many were paid to stay silent? How many signed non-disclosure agreements? Accepted hush money, or were scared into backing away? Diddy didn't just have fame, he had the means to make problems disappear and keep his name out of trouble. Let's look at Meek Mill. When Lil Rod made bold claims about Diddy's private life, he mentioned a rapper from Philly who used to date Nicki Minaj. Most people assumed he meant Meek. Then Meek suddenly posted strange tweets, saying people were trying to destroy his image and push him out of the music world. He even said he'd pay for an investigation, but it all felt like damage control. Not long after, a video showed Diddy calling Meek "daddy" and praising him. That raised eyebrows, then an alleged audio from a former bodyguard hinted at something more between them. And Meek's not the only one. Names like French Montana, Yo Gotti, and Usher have also come up, rumored to have taken hush money or been warned to keep quiet. Even behind bars, whispers about Diddy haven't stopped. Some say he's being treated like a king in prison, with inmates catering to him. More disturbing are rumors that he's still having intimate contact, and if his medical reports are true, it could be putting others at serious risk. Guards are uneasy. Prisoners are talking. And this isn't just gossip anymore, it's fear. What's your take on all of this? Let's talk in the comments.